Mommy Talk, the champions of parenting. Dr. Pert, Miss Lisa, and Miss April. Real, relatable, and right on time. Mommy Talk provides information for all facets of parenting. Listen and engage as the champions of parenting bring their experience and expertise to the world of parenthood.
Our listeners can expect to receive encouragement and resources that can help them with positive parental engagement. Come talk to us.
Welcome to Mommy Talk. Hey. How are our listeners doing out there today?
Hey.
So, Mommy Talk is, a group of women who started this group where our goal is to uplift, inform, and engage mothers and fathers by providing information and resources to inspire positive parental engagement. Ladies, positive parental engagement.
That's right.
That's right. That's really the goal of parenting, to have those positive experiences, when our children get older, when we age, we want to look back and, look at those moments, where we laughed, where we cried, but overall we created good memories. And I just want to say out there to everybody who I text in my phone today, we are not talking about academics. We are talking about the difference between being a supportive parent or are you a parent who enables your child, and that is a big difference. But before we get into that, I just want to ask my teammates over here, how was you all's weekend?
My weekend was fabulous, fantastic. Yeah.
Here we go.
You all should have seen that look.
No, I'm looking at Miss Lisa. Okay, but
What's wrong? You don't like my French braids?
no, they cute. No, so this weekend, last week I went to Groupon and I purchased a yoga Groupon because I really wanted to do something where I get more in tune with myself and relax. And I remember 2 years ago, we did yoga at the Riverwalk. It was so phenomenal. And I remember I was at peace. I was more flexible. I was able to exercise more efficiently. So I went and found yoga Groupon, and I went to the yoga studio in Southfield. So I've been doing yoga last week, and that really was phenomenal. Yeah, and I'm going to continue it tomorrow. But I'm excited about this journey because, you always want to do something that's a positive reflection and help you in a positive way.
Yeah, that's cool. So what's your favorite yoga position?
Child's pose.
Child's pose?
Yeah, child's pose. Just basically, you're kneeling down and you're just relaxed and in serenity and you're just preparing. We usually go there before our session and end up there in our session. Just basic relaxed pose.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I love yoga. I know your question was about the weekend, but I just
Right.
on the yoga piece. Yoga really is good for the body. And
It is. It's so phenomenal.
Yes,
Go ahead.
One of my high school buddies, he's an avid runner. He runs all the time. Hey, Dre, I'm gonna give you a shout out. Whoop whoop. And so, so one day I was complaining. I was talking about how my legs was hurting and everything. And he was like, you need to stretch. And listening to him, actually even participating in yoga, it actually did help. So, because yoga, it relaxes the muscles. Hey, listeners out there, I hope you can hear us good. Please call in 837-1340. So back to Dr. Pert's question. My weekend really was nice. I got a break Saturday. My kids actually left me to go with their other grandmother. And I told my son, I was like, dang, you guys are leaving me? He said, Mom, we're going.
That's
So he was
cool.
very firm about it. But yeah, it was a good weekend. How about you?
I had a nice weekend. I spent it with my family. I really love spending time with my family. And, as I'm getting older, I'm embracing aging, and that comes with all these bumps on my face. I'm not understanding what's going on with my face.
Hormonal changes. It's just basic hormonal changes. So you probably just got to do something with your, I love skincare. So yeah, you probably just got to do something different with your skincare because as we get older, our body just, as women, we just go through different things. So you just got to try something different with your skin.
Yeah, and I just want to let the listeners know out there, I really don't have a lot of acne. I just have 2 bumps, and for me, that's a lot.
Yeah, because you never had it. I have a lot of breakouts, and I'm like, where did this come from? Where did this come from? But I just try to manage it with different products.
Yeah. And so today we're going to be talking about the difference between supporting and enabling your children. So listeners out there, what type of parent are you? Are you an enabler or are you a supportive parent? So let's talk about what is the difference.
Well, don't forget, and then we also have the parent that's, if I can add that or say it, under supporter, who the type of parent that would throw your child to the wolf, where they have to learn everything, where they
On
have
their
to
own.
basically fend for themselves.
Right.
So you have those who are, what is it, like the 3 bears? This porridge is too hot. This porridge is too cold, and this porridge is just right. So I guess the just right parents would be the supportive parents.
Right. So
And too hot. What is too hot or too
enabling
cold?
probably.
Maybe the too hot would be the enablers,
And too
then
cold
and
will
the
probably
too
be the
cold.
under supportive. Yeah.
Yes.
But a supportive parent is someone who's doing something for someone that is not capable of doing something for themselves. And then an enabler is doing something for someone that he or she or the child could be easily doing for himself. So that's my definition of being an enabler versus being supportive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when I think of a parent who enables their child, they're always making excuses as opposed to allowing their child to say, how can I put this? They do a disservice to their children. They don't correct the behavior and they get lost in the moment trying to provide instant satisfaction and instant gratification. So I pretty much think that the supportive parent is one that teaches their child a lesson and helps them accept responsibility and admit to their fault and redirect their behavior. So the enabler, it's like they have to deal with their children as they get older,
Yeah.
because
They always hanging on.
Yeah, they hang on because you've never taught them how to accept responsibility, and you always making excuses. Such as one of the biggest excuses I hear, like if a child is diagnosed with ADD or ADHD. Okay, just because your child is diagnosed with that doesn't give them a pass to be disrespectful.
Right. And a lot of parents do. I've heard that a lot, in my teaching career where parents, often enabled their child and gave them excuses. A pass to be disrespectful or late, not turning their assignments. They always, enables their children. Now, me, on the other hand, I would never, my sons were never diagnosed with anything, thank God, but I always, made them responsible, whatever, and held them accountable for their behavior, for them completing their assignments, just overall as a good student.
And that's what a supportive parent would do. They would actually come in, regardless if it's in the school setting, wherever the issue may be, dealing with a neighbor. They help their child accept the fault or the responsibility of the issue and correct that behavior.
Absolutely. And then you have when parents don't teach those skills to students, they become very frantic, and they're just not able to maneuver through the day without asking for help constantly. And then also with the enablers, they unfortunately they sometimes become codependents. where
They
they
do.
depend on, substances to get them through the day. They have indecisive behaviors. They're fearful, whereas your supportive students or children
Who are
they're
supported.
winners, because I know I make a lot of mistakes. Amen. I make a lot of mistakes, but I embrace my mistakes.
You have to.
And,
Yeah.
You
and
have
I
to.
try to teach my children to, your mistakes only help you grow. Like, okay, this didn't work this time. However, next time, we'll do something different. So I want to say something because I feel like we're being very rude. We have a guest in the building. Hello.
Hi.
Hey. So we have Miss Monet here with us today.
Monet Rickham-Strick.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that, please?
Monet Rickham-Strick.
Nice. Okay.
It's nice. It's really, whenever you hear Rickham-Strick, you know they're related. Like, okay, tell a story about you met somebody.
So, I don't
It's
know.
her relative, because the last name is just so unique.
Well, we got a cousin. He's like a coach at Central Michigan.
And y'all went there and visited?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's how she found out she was related to him by her last name. But tell us a little bit about yourself,
Can I ask a
Monet.
question, though? Did you guys keep in contact, though? Did you?
Through Facebook, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay. So back on to Miss April's
Yes.
demand.
You didn't say who she was, though. She's
Oh, yeah, that's what.
Right.
Yeah.
Monet, yeah, she's going to give a little bit about herself.
Okay.
My name is Monet. I'm 19 years old. I graduated from Harringford High School.
Woo woo. Sweet brown and gold. What year did you graduate?
2018.
And who was your bestest English teacher?
Miss
Bestest.
April.
This is Miss April's former student. Isn't it nice to, keep those relationships and build from there?
Isn't important, because sometimes you can use yourself as a tool to help others and, just be a positive role model and communicate with others. So I definitely appreciate, my ability to be a positive influence on Monet.
Yes.
Okay.
I extremely appreciate you more. Not trying to like single you out other than the other
Girl,
staff.
tell the truth.
But
It's okay.
but it's like you can tell when you got like a genuine teacher or just like a adult that like really care about you and like your future and stuff like that. Other than like most teachers, like they really just don't care. Like whether you pass, you pass. If you don't, you don't. Like that's just on you. But it's also good because like I got her as a mentor that how could I put it in and out of school. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, okay.
Wow, that
nice.
is beautiful.
Awesome. She was in my journalism class,
Yes,
I
we know
taught
about you in journalism. Yes.
and yearbook. Yeah, so we did journalism and yearbook, even though they were my favorite. And I did that in high school. I'm looking at Dr. Purr because she was trying to go a little bit last week about my journalism and yearbook where we was caught up. We was if time
Where
ended,
is
but
that
yeah.
journal book?
Well, I got to find it. Look, I got to find it.
Right. You might have some good
Yeah, but you know what?
and ballots that could be
When I find
published.
things like, because
Yeah.
when I have journals, I try to keep them all in one space. 'Cause, that's me just being organized. But when I go back and look, I'll be like, wow, just the growth. You can just reflect on the moments of like, wow, I was there then. I'm thankful that I was there then, and I'm here now. So it makes me more appreciative that you see the growth.
And speaking on support, when Miss April's mom, Miss Dorothy, called in and she
When she calls in.
talked about when she calls, but when she talked about the journal and everything, and you could tell that was a supportive act of Miss Dorothy, that she supported April with that, Miss April, because had she not, you may have stopped doing it, or who knows, you may be into something else. So support is very important.
It definitely is
for
important.
the growth and confidence of a person.
And some people, just need different support. So you just
Yes.
have to see in what area you can support, or provide support to someone. Just depends, you just have to be more flexible. You definitely want to enable
Yeah.
and do what they can do for themselves, but you want to support them and help them thrust or thrust themselves to the next level.
And I think most parents probably have been guilty at one point in time of enabling in certain
Yes.
situations, because I have to tell myself often, your daughter is 15, do not speak for her. And I'm like, okay, let me just move. Because, it's like sometimes when you feel like you look at them, they're drowning. Like, okay, let me kind of help her. And it's like, nope, let her drown. Stop. You can't speak for them. And that's one thing I tell my kids now. I do not ask, once they turn maybe 6 years old, I think I stopped asking certain things for them. I felt like this is a time where you can start communicating. It depends on what it was, but
Well, my daughter is 2, and she lets me know whenever she wants something, okay?
I'm sure she does. Her and Christian Grant.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yeah, and I think that's very important, as you all say. Being that positive role model, and because children are always looking at how we solve problems.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. So we do have a caller. Hi, caller. Welcome to Mommy Talk.
Hi, I just wanted to say that you guys are phenomenal. I like the way that you are helping one another, and I just think the Black relationship with you women is phenomenal.
Yeah,
And I
thank
just wanna say-
you.
We
I just
appreciate your
wanna say-
support.
Yeah, I just want to say keep on, keep it on, and I enjoy listening to you. I enjoy you guys laughing, and that's something that we don't do more often.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we
laughter
take
is
good laughs in
definitely
here.
important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a great day. And I
Okay.
am a champion grandma.
Yes. Hey,
yes.
champion grandma. Thank you.
Thank you for
welcome.
calling.
Okay. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Yes. Hi. We have another caller. So welcome to Mommy Talk, caller.
Hi,
Hi.
Hi.
I'm delighted to be here.
Oh, we're
And
glad to have you
we're
here.
glad to
Yeah,
have you.
absolutely. You sound like a champion.
Oh, thank you so much. My name is Miss Johnson. How is everybody doing?
Good.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I just wanted to call you guys first to congratulate you on all the good you are doing, because discussing main topics that the community has concerns about or issues about or just want to talk about is very important. It's very important that people are allowed to express themselves. So I wanted to give you all kudos for that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I also wanted to talk about my niece encounter entering Detroit Public Schools. She's in the 1st grade now, and she's coming from Atlanta. And she just told me how she really enjoyed her teacher, and she really liked her Mike Morris book bag.
Yeah, thank you, Mike Morris.
It's just very important that, to me, because I was so concerned, like, is my niece going to like this, or, is she going to have any challenges? But it's starting off really well, so I just wanted to share that with you guys and express how elated I am concerning that.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
thank
good.
you. That's wonderful that your child or your family member made a connection with the teacher. Yeah, so I think teacher-student relationships are important.
Yes, they are.
And it's
Yeah.
normal to have those fears, especially when our children are entering into a new setting. You don't know what to expect, but, that's good that your niece is having a positive experience. And let the world know, are you a champion auntie?
Yeah.
Hey.
Any other way?
Yes.
What Nicki Minaj say? I am the champ.
Okay, all right.
Okay, nice talking with
Yeah,
you guys.
thank you for calling.
Nice talking
Yes,
to you,
thank
Okay,
too.
bye-bye.
Yeah, so as champion parents, we have principles that, we stand by that guide us. You are to love your children unconditionally and develop them and provide safe environments. Use good judgment, give them access to a quality education, as the caller just called in and said. And when disciplining, choose to educate over punishing. Listen and communicate effectively. Spend quality time and be involved. But you want to be that involved, supportive parent.
We do. And we're thankful that we're supportive as parents as well as supportive as champion parents. Somebody just posted on our Facebook page saying they're really appreciative from our champion book bags, and they're really, really appreciative from us giving those away because it helped their students be that much more prepared in school. So it's good that we were able to provide that support.
That's good. And I want to just say, I like to thank all of our followers out there. When did we start? Did we start in February?
April 1st.
Oh, we
April
started
1st.
in
But we started
April.
back in February doing
Yeah.
YouTube.
Okay. But now we have 541 followers.
Mhm.
That's
And
huge.
growing. Yeah, we're growing. It's definitely, take steps because we just keep moving and keep stepping in the right direction. Then, we just provide support and then we're genuinely want to help,
Yeah,
others.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's always, as a parent, you have to be honest with your children, whether you're right or wrong, or whether they're right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, can you think of an incident where, you had to redirect your child behavior? Like, look, you're wrong in this situation.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
All the time.
Yes. My sons, they're 19 and 20, bless their hearts. They're about to be 21 and 20 and 21. I can't believe it. But they think they are absolutely right when they're in it. So, just different situations, they just feel like whenever I try to give them advice or tell them, and I had to learn how to step away and just let them figure it out. Mm-hmm. But even if I tell them, okay, look, this is what you should do. I'm trying to think of a particular situation, but it's nothing that's coming to my mind. Mm-hmm. But I know there are many because, I try to, direct them in the right way. Then weeks later or maybe months later, they may come back and say, Mom, you was right. I should have did it like this. So I said, well, mm-hmm. sometimes, you have to go through them growing pains and learn and develop because not to do that anymore because you went through those growing pains.
And you were that responsible parent,
Mm-hmm.
and you told your child what to do.
Mm-hmm.
You gave them that information.
Oh, yeah, I provide a bounty full of information for my children. They say I do too much often, but, I feel like, I just want them to be prepared.
Yes, absolutely. And, whether your children decide to take your advice or not, as a parent, you can take a deep breath and relax and say, you know what, I did my part because I gave them the tools and the knowledge and how they should apply it to the world.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I can remember helping my son with homework. And my son, it's weird because he's the organized one in the house. And so when he doesn't have it together, he becomes very frustrated, almost babyfied, if that's a word I can use. But he becomes babyfied, honey. Yes, he becomes very, oh my God, just, so I instead of me getting upset, I have to back away from the situation because in my head, I'd be ready to, roll my neck and look little boy. But I just have to, I have to take a deep breath before I give him any directives for the next part, So sometimes I just kind of watch, while he, goes through his little spiel or whatnot. But when he does not have it together, he really becomes frustrated. And so I have to ask him just to, kind of rethink everything. And I'll have to ask him to look at what's being what he needs help with. Like, say for instance, real quick, because I know I'm doing a horrible time.
No, you're doing fine because I really
he,
feel that you're providing your son with good tools that he'll use in the future.
Yes.
To help him calm down and reflect. So you have to tell him to just stop and
because
reflect.
That type of behavior will get you nowhere. You know, I was helping him with the centimeters, meters, millimeters, all this stuff. Anyway, so I had to draw the chart, and once he was able to look at it by himself, away from me, then he was able to come back, and we were able to get back into it.
So that's awesome.
It does take a lot of patience.
Yeah, it does.
Because I could have enabled him and that behavior, and then it would be reoccurring.
Yeah, but you took a stand and you did what you were supposed to do as a champion parent.
Well, I like that.
Good job, Miss Lisa.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take it anymore.
All right. Well, yeah, you just have to teach them. Sometimes we try to talk to them, but sometimes if you show them and communicate with them, they're able to learn that way too. So you can't always just tell them, but you have to show them and help them work through it.
The model, yes.
Yeah, modeling. Good. Yeah.
And then I know sometimes, like you all said, we get caught up in the moment and, we get disappointed in the choices that our children make. And, we get to start screaming, why did you do this? What were you thinking? You know, and, you know, as a supportive parent, of course, you know, you care, but like you all said, you have to step back and, you know, take a deep breath and say, you know what, let's talk about this. Let's talk about how you could have handled this situation better. And going forward, what are the next steps that you can do so that it won't be the same outcome, whether it be, not pointing the finger at anybody, but looking at yourself, because the only person who you can control is yourself. So let's talk about what you can do differently, not what somebody else can do, but what you can do differently.
That's right.
Because the only person you have control over is yourself.
That's right.
You
Keep that
cannot
ownership.
control anything else but yourself. So as long as you got control over yourself, you can't worry about or try to control anybody else. 'Cause
That's right.
all you guys responsible is for yourself. And the more you learn that and the more you practice that in life, you know, the better it'll be.
For sure. And adults, that's for you too.
I know. I'm sitting up here like, wow, yes, it's resonating with me even over and over. And I know this, but you know, sometimes you just have to remember and reflect. Like, okay, you know, any situation, I'm just in control of it. You know.
And communication in any relationship is just key.
It is.
You know, it's just like, let's sit down, let's talk about it. You know, we may get frustrated, but let's respect each other's boundaries.
Boundaries, yeah.
And the Bible does say, as a parent, you're not supposed to frustrate your children, you know, or antagonize them. You know,
But why do parents like frustrate their children?
Because they're frustrated.
Because they're frustrated. I realized the other day when I was talking to my kids, I was dropping them off with their grandmother, and I was asking them, you know, I had to think about everything I was saying. Well, how come you didn't do this? Well, that doesn't make sense because you're always doing this. And I'm like, Lisa, oh my God, listen to yourself. You sound so negative.
Yeah.
And although I was telling the truth, but it was like, wow, I have to really, and I get on their dad, or I'll talk to him sometimes like, okay, well, you know, you got to teach them. We have to teach them. We have to model. We have to show them. And here I am preaching to him, and it's like, whoa, check yourself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You have to practice what
What's
you
her name?
preach.
Boo Boo Kitty. That's what I was trying to say. It didn't come out fast enough. But yeah.
Well, Boo Boo Kitty from Empire? Oh.
And, you know, sometimes it's not what you're saying.
It's how you say
how
it.
you're saying
It
it.
definitely is. And there's always a way to say things.
It is.
And you have to practice that, because I know I can tend to be so blunt and, you know, to the point, but I have to even practice, you know, what I say and making sure that, you know, I'm coming off compassionately and loving and not so sharply. Yeah, but it's a
felt
skill.
that a lot.
Who you?
Yeah, that it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
It is.
Yes, Miss Monet.
Because have you ever noticed, prime example, you could be telling a child something, but then they go and somebody else, another adult, say the same thing, and
no
they
problem.
receive the message.
Like, oh, such and such said this. I said that, but you probably just planted the seeds, and it took somebody to water it for it to sprout.
But you know what? And that's even with the support system or learning how to support your kids. Sometimes in supporting them, it may not be you. Again, like you said, providing that avenue. You like even a therapist, or we talked about therapists a couple of weeks ago, but those are ways to support your kids.
Or a mentor, joining a group, a club.
Yes,
And,
as Miss April and Miss Monet said, and
Yeah, because, you know, and a lot of times parents out there, sometimes you can't give your children a choice, you know, to sit at home. And you know, they may want to go back and forth with you like, no, I don't want to do this. No, you push them into certain activities, because that way they develop skills and learn about themselves, you know, because you don't go through life learning things alone. You learn it through your interactions and your experiences.
Experience is the best teacher.
And so as a champion parent, we talked about being supportive and providing positive reinforcement. So that means don't yell at your children. Wait, but you know what? Sometimes some children need to be yelled at.
It's necessary. It's necessary. It's necessary sometimes. Not all the time. You can't always come across yelling, but sometimes it's necessary.
Yeah, I mean, you can yell if you're trying to save their life. Like, don't cross the street, but it's really not necessary.
It is definitely necessary. necessary,
You
Miss
know what?
Lisa.
I done told you 3 times.
Right.
Sit your butt down.
Yeah. Or sit down in that seat.
Or you can say it real firmly, sit your butt down.
Okay, well, I'm going to remember that. Next time we have that conversation, I cannot wait till I talk to you on the phone. I cannot wait. Because Miss Lisa.
Hold on, Miss Lisa.
Right. You remember you said no yelling? Because she'd be like, hold on, let me call you back.
I'm going to try that with Skylar. She going to look at me.
Sit down.
No, mommy. Be quiet. I'm going to be like, oh, okay. And I'm going to say it real firmly. Sit down. And
They probably gonna think you crazy. She might actually do it. I mean, because sometimes who are you more afraid of? That real calm person where you don't know where they're coming from, or the one that's I think, and see, my kids, I think they respond more to the calm.
Oh, really?
I mean, not from me though.
it really just depends on the child, because some reinforcement works well with this child, then other discipline or reinforcement works well with this child.
Yeah. So we appreciate you for listening and spending your evening with us on Mommy Talk. For additional information, visit us on all our social media platforms at Mommy Talk Network, on our website at www.mommietalk.com. Come talk to us each and every Monday on 1340 a.m. Detroit from 7:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. In closing, I would like to leave you with a very special quote by Anne Franks. Parents can only give good advice or put them on the right path, but the final forming of a child's character lies in their own hands. Thank you for listening to Mommy Talk.
Good night.
Thank you for listening to Mommy Talk, the champions of parenting. And remember, you too can be a champion of parenting. Continue to support and love your children. For additional information, you can contact us at info@mommytalk.com or visit our website at www.mommytalk.com. We can also be found via social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mommy Talk Network. Please listen to us every Monday at 7:30 p.m. on WCHB Detroit's Gospel Station.
Come talk to us.